and welcome to
Closing the Gap.
Motorsport Diaries.
I am Ari,
And my name is Aranza.
and we are just high spirits, high vibes. We are coming off from like the highest high of, I would like to say this season, but honestly, like longer, I feel like. I haven't felt like this in a while.
This weekend it's a lot. We had a lot of motorsports.
A lot of motorsports.
I have been awake since like 7 a.m. with Formula One Academy. Then right after we had the 500. Then we went straight into Formula One. The Coca-Cola 600 is still going on, but we're pushing through. There was a lot of motorsports this
Thank
week.
God.
And that made me so happy.
And we're still recovering from. If you didn't watch it, you can watch it now. We did a mini series of our Zoom call.
Yes.
Or kind of felt Zoom call, but we tried. Since we didn't do an episode last week,
Yeah.
we did cover everything that happened last week because it was a lot.
There was so much that happened last week, which we were not expecting for that much to happen. Obviously the qualifying for the 500 was huge, and there was more things that happened that we actually ever thought about. MotoGP happened. There was
Yes.
a lot of stuff there.
We'll kind of like scan through it as this episode goes on, but it's just honestly like right now, I am just so like Canada really said, here is what you've been waiting for,
It
and
was so good.
it was so good. I'm so happy.
I, for one, am so happy that we underhyped it and we said it was going to be boring because, yeah, spectacle of the year so far. It was amazing. It gave us so many virtual safety cars, which we'll get into because we were very upset about that. But, it gave us a lot.
Canada is who Miami thinks they are.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
I feel like Miami was so overhyped. Like we said, because we hadn't had a race for such a long time. But honestly, like Canada so delivered.
Yeah. Agreed. And I think I told you earlier that I had heard someone say that Canada was their favorite track, and I was like, really? I get it
what?
now. I get it now. Yeah.
Listen,
Canada's
you were
up
right.
there.
We were wrong.
We can admit when we're wrong.
We were actually talking about maybe that's one of the tracks we go to next year.
Yeah. It looks like a good track, especially it's on an island.
It's closer to us.
Fresh air. Yeah. The trees, I was just like, those trees, I feel like could give me so much oxygen.
Like real oxygen. Not whatever we breathe over here.
I know. California, I love you. Southern California, your beaches.
Not us in the state of emergency in the OC.
With OC. Oh my God.
Not a laughing matter, but.
No, it's not a laughing matter. Some like chemical plant, something. Anyways, they had everyone evacuate out of there.
Hazard spill.
Yeah.
They can't control it. Let's just dive right into our Formula One Canada Grand Prix weekend.
Woohoo! It gave us so much.
So much.
And then it took so much from us as well. Sprint happened.
The sprint race. Honestly, just so much. And I'm just gonna like say this now because I know it means a lot to you, and I'm gonna forget later.
Go for it.
Best Checo qualifying in Cadillac.
And I have some words for the FIA. Because what is your problem? What is your problem? For real, what is your problem with Checo? Never mind.
This is how we get canceled, y'all.
Listen, 100%. Let me. Why would you do that to him? He finally qualifies. His car's doing so good. We'll get to the race later, and Cadillac and their race later. But even Valtteri was doing so good all weekend.
Yes.
They both had pace. Everything was going so well. He qualified P11. Like, P11 for car number 11, the 11th team on the track. Like, please.
It was a poem. Chef's
beautiful. Kiss. And then the FIA had to come and ruin everything. We were one position away from points. Like,
yeah.
This is such a sad topic for me, and I was so over the moon when that penalty came through. I was like,
yeah, it was,
ruined my whole day.
I'm sorry. I am sorry for all of us, but mostly for you.
Yes.
And
I appreciate it.
That being said, sprint race was a good look into Mercedes wise, what was going to happen today. We're just going to dive right into it, you guys, because there's so much to unpack. The sprint race. George Russell won the sprint race yesterday on
He did.
Saturday. And then Lando Norris took second. And then Antonelli took third.
Yes, he did.
And I feel like we could all relate to Lando. Just like, I am here for the tea. For once, I'm so happy. It is not about us. It's not me. And he
Listen,
was just like grinning from ear to ear. It was hilarious.
I if you're a McLaren fan or if you just lived what McLaren lived last year, this is so fun for us to watch. And we now understand what everyone else was witnessing. Thank God it's not us anymore. I'm so like this is so funny. And then even Oscar, I think later on there was like an interview or something. He's over there cracking up at the answers between.
And it's valid. It's so
It's so
valid.
funny. Like, yeah, it was frustrating for McLaren last year and McLaren fans last year to be in the middle of that and be like, no, you guys stop. Like, listen. And now it's us being like, and I love that for us.
Honestly, yes. Going back to Mercedes, I think it was just a preview into what we were about to witness this morning.
Yeah.
We did see Kimmy really truly get in there and fight for, the first, for P1 with George. A lot of us will say it was good racing. However, Kimmy
It's a
was
little
really just riding that line. And I personally didn't go back to listen to all of the radios,
Mm-hmm.
but post race, they did say that it wasn't only the radio that we all heard at the end, where he said, if this is the way we're racing, then that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because, first of all, where do you get off, Kimmy Antonelli? That snark will not fly here. And yes, Toto, thank you for putting him back in his place. We are a Kimmy Antonelli household. That is our championship contender. But I will not stand for that kind of slander. Like, that was.
She will not stand for the slander, but I'm all for it. Kimmy, let them know. Because as soon as you let them start walking all over you, it's over. So keep speaking up.
But that was, we go back to the same thing, the passive aggressive radios.
Yeah.
What is it? We're
Agreed.
like, oh, that's good to know.
And
Because,
actually,
girl,
Actually, Toto did say something along the same lines that you were saying
yes.
last time.
Me
Or like in
yesterday
your
watching
TikTok.
the race, like, yes,
Yes.
Toto, tell him. Because he did say, if he said, when Timmy said that, he said, we will discuss this internally. We don't do this over the radio. And I was like, finally, if I love Toto Wolff before yesterday,
Yeah.
you don't understand how much I love him now, because finally somebody said that. And you know what? Toto Wolff said it to his driver, but everybody else should be paying attention.
No, and I'm glad he did say it on radio instead of just being, because normally Toto, he interjects, but not as much. And he would, from what I listen to, which I don't really listen to Merc radios, he normally just says, hey, we'll discuss this later, whatever. Like, put a pin in it. He doesn't really go
Yeah.
into it. This time he was like, no, let's stop this right now. This is not something that we do. Let me reprimand you on the spot.
Yeah. Well, he
Which is
had
crazy.
already replied to him once
Yeah, he
that
did.
we knew of on the F1 live feed.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I didn't go into the Merck's radios, but he had said already, stop the
Stop
moaning.
whining.
So, I mean, good for you, Toto. Hell yes. You tell him.
Yeah.
We love Kimmy as much as the next person, but honestly, that's my pet peeve.
That, and I found it so funny, someone did go and like make a video of them during sprint quali, them during sprint, and then them during regular quali, and it was like, house mad, we got yelled at, okay, we're okay now.
And then I didn't see the the conference post sprint
Post-race
race
conference,
yesterday,
yeah.
but you could tell Kimmy was still holding a lot in.
Oh, he was
And I don't really
pissed.
know what happened in that briefing room after the sprint yesterday and after quali, but you could tell he brought it onto track today too.
Oh,
He
he
started
was
that race.
going for it. That was crazy. The entire time we were watching, and I told her too, I was like, if George would have stayed in the race just a little longer, even maybe like 5 to 8 laps, I think we
We
would
would
have
have gotten
had
a red flag.
we would have gotten a red flag because they both crashed into each other. They came close plenty of times. And yeah, I still believe we would have gotten a red flag.
And for everybody saying Mercedes, if you weren't there, I'm sorry, but you don't get to say.
No,
Mercedes,
was crazy.
it was like an onion. Like, this is nothing like Mercedes. But I will say, some of those movements Kimmy was trying to pull this morning, I was like, oh, yeah, kind of PTSD. slightly, but
No.
it's
Trust me, Brosades was
a
these
nightmare.
two were about to
Yeah, they were at each
hit
other's
each other
throats.
on
No
on track.
diplomacy about it.
No, nothing. Like they would have parked their car on track and started fist fighting each other. I promise you,
And
they were this close.
I don't know who stays to watch the post race on F1 TV
Mhm.
interviews, but Laura Winter did pull Toto aside
Mhm.
yesterday to kind of like give a short interview. I think Ruth was there, Juan Pablo was there, and I think Jacques Villeneuve was also there. And Toto, he kind of, you could tell that he came with a purpose, and that purpose was to say, we need, he said, I understand the media are trying to run with this,
Mhm.
and like, but enough is enough type of
Yep.
thing. They are not at each other's throat. There is no, it is a normal rivalry.
Animosity. Mhm.
And like I'm not favoring one on top of the other. And he did say he because one of, I can't remember who it was, but they brought up Brosedes, and
Mhm.
he said, I was way younger and I didn't really have the wisdom I do now.
Yep.
And I was, I was green in the sense of I didn't necessarily knew the best way to deal with it.
Yep.
He said that would never happen now. So he genuinely, Toto came in and he said this, and this, thank you, and he left. And I was like,
Yep.
yes. So he said, like, the media is just trying to portray it to be bigger than it is. And
Right.
I can see it. But at the end of the day, you are dealing with a teenager.
Two teenagers. Because no, trust. Because although yes,
I agree.
George Russell, we are the same age, he is not as mature as I am.
Stop.
And I will say that for like he has these little tantrums and he kind of tests Toto in a way that to see if like he'll let him. He is now the principal driver. When Lewis was there, okay, fine, you're the younger driver and like they'll
He could get
probably,
away with more.
he could get away with it. Now you're the principal driver. Toto would not want me to say that, but you're the principal driver. You're the top driver right now, and Kimmy's learning from you.
Yep.
You're not mature enough for Kimmy to learn from you. And that's where
Yeah.
there's issues because we can't have two immature people trying to navigate this.
And that's what I was alluding to this morning. I said you can't ask him to mature faster. He
Yeah.
is 19 at the end of
Mhm.
the day. George should know better because why would you throw
But he
your
doesn't.
headrest
Although
onto the track?
that he should have thrown it actually on the track, not on the grass, but
Yeah, we could have
that's
used a real safety car,
we needed a
George.
real
By the way,
safety
take one for the team.
car.
You're already there.
Exactly. You
Anyway.
were already off track. Whatever. We'll get into that.
But that's the thing. Mercedes are in their papaya rules era,
They are.
and it's gonna be
Hopefully
honestly
you guys make it out because we did.
best wishes. Honestly, this is gonna do for great entertainment.
Yeah.
However, I don't really know. You can tell the reason why this DNF affected George so bad. It's because even though he says he doesn't, he's got something to prove.
He does.
So
But point to him, he was fast. Like,
He was.
yeah,
he would have won.
Kimmy was on his butt the entire time, 100%. He was getting pressured by Kimmy for sure. But George was fast. He could have won the race. It was his race to lose, and he did.
Jumping onto Ferrari. Because I am over the moon at my 8-time world champion finally
Finally.
getting on the podium worth his time.
Finally, this man gets a first podium for this season with Ferrari. Are we kidding? And this man is back fighting with Max.
Oh,
And the joy
so good.
that those two had fighting each other was like we were over here scripting a talk and everything. It was wonderful.
Like my screen did not fit in my face, to be honest.
Yeah.
And it was just, you could tell in their interviews,
They had so much fun.
they literally were the same
They
as
enjoyed
us.
it. Yeah.
Max was like, I had some great fights with Lewis, and Lewis was like, I had some
Literally.
great fights with Max. The cool that room, just more of the same thing. And we're all like, all right, I'm glad it's, the whole community's feeling this, because
Right.
I was telling her, like, I have not been this happy about a race in the longest time. And I feel like, regardless, I know Max wanted to get P2.
Obviously.
But you could tell he was so happy.
That's what I love about Max is that it doesn't matter what position he gets. I mean, obviously it does matter, but if it's a good battle, that man is going to be happy. It doesn't matter that he got P3 because he loved that battle. Like, his favorite thing is racing. And once you're racing against someone, and obviously if it's the Lewis Hamilton, like,
Yeah.
he loves a challenge. That's why 2023 was so boring for him. And, like, whenever at the end of 2024 when he was battling with Lando, he was having so much fun. Obviously Lando was like having the worst time of his life, but Max was having so much fun because he finally had someone to battle it out with.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this man loves, that's what he thrives on. And this, even though he got P3, that man was over the moon to just have someone to fight with.
And he was struggling with tires. So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, this is the best we could do. Like, yeah, I could have maybe, but he had already been complaining for a few laps about his tires.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it was a fair fight. And, like you said, like, he's just happy to be fighting again.
Yeah.
And in the mix at the top. Because Red Bull were so fast this week. Hadjar, and I think that's why I was like, Hadjar he was so quick. He was yesterday Q2. I want to say he ended the session with the fastest lap. So
crazy.
He was fast. I am kind of surprised that he ended up 5, but. And I did tell you, right? Like, I was like, what was that radio about to Charles? Because I'm like, are they asking him to defend against Isaac for Lewis? Still don't know the answer to that. If you do, let us know.
Yeah.
Because Red Bull was fast.
Red Bull was so quick. And something that I told her was, if I was Isaac, like, you're racing against a Ferrari at the top.
Yep.
He's finally comfortable in the car. He's doing so well. He's, going up against obviously Lewis and Charles. He's in there, and it's insane. This car is so insanely fast, and obviously he's knows how to manage it so well.
Yes.
Oh my god.
He did so good.
I cannot wait for him to be on a podium again. And it's going to be so good because Red Bull is fast. And both Max and him are proving it.
Yeah. I think he thought this might have been his chance because, like I said, he was so quick yesterday. But this is one of those podiums that genuinely, like, even though you're seeing the numbers and it was a sprint race weekend and you have a good feeling of what it might look like, if we would have done predictions, we would have gotten them so wrong.
Yeah.
Because this 100%. Podium genuinely came out of nowhere.
And I would not have been upset about getting it wrong.
No, 100%.
Truly.
Because with that Ferrari being said, we will jump back into Charles Leclerc's whole dilemma later. But let's touch back really quick on McLaren because it was their tire strategy that screwed them over.
Oh my god. We had to watch that.
Rewatch.
From the beginning, from even before the formation laps, like, we had to hear all the radios with Oscar and his engineer and see what went wrong, because I came in when they were on lap 2, and I was like, why are they pitting?
Why are they pitting so early?
The race just started. What's going on with the pits? Like, why are they there? They pulled in Oscar first, and then a lap later they pulled in Lando, and then they were at the very end. They ran for 15 laps, and then they got pulled in again, and it was a whole. I was so confused. So
yeah, everybody was.
I was so confused and wondering what was going on with their strategy. Lando started off so good. Granted, the feed that we were watching did not say what tires he was on, so that was also confusing. And when he came out, I was like, wait, why is he on mediums? Wasn't he already on? Was he on softs? What was the issue?
For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, McLaren, Piastri said he didn't feel comfortable going out on slicks. So for the F2 race, the track was wet and they still used slicks. So I don't really know what happened between races that Oscar said, I don't feel comfortable going out on slicks.
Yeah.
I choose inters. However, we didn't really find out exactly what happened. We didn't listen to the radios. We don't know how much of this conversation happened outside of the car.
Yeah.
Why did Lando also go on inters?
Yeah,
because I get that
thing.
Oscar said, this is a me thing. I'm going on inters. But then it was a gamble. Cadillac did it too.
Yeah.
Audi did it too. Carlos did it too. It didn't pan out for anybody.
No.
But Jolyon had a point where he said, I understand why Cadillac would take the gamble. I understand why Carlos would take the gamble. I understand why Audi would take the gamble. But why would you take that huge gamble from row two?
Yeah. Especially, okay, it's fine to do it with one of your drivers. Why with both? Why? That's what I didn't understand. If it was also a conversation they had with Lando that they were both gonna have the same tire strategies, because that doesn't make sense to me. If you're row two, you put your cars on different tire strategies and see what's working and what's not, and that's when you go in. Also, we had two formation laps. Oscar had plenty of time to see, hey, the track's actually not good, and he had a whole conversation about it. You know what? We're probably gonna
We
have
had
to
three
switch.
formation laps.
You're right. We're gonna have to switch to slicks. Sweetie, you had a whole other formation lap. Just go into the pit and
Yeah.
start from pit lane. That would have been. I think that would have been such a game changer for his race.
I think on the
Particularly.
second one, before they call the third formation lap, you can hear him on the radio say, we've gotten some good temperatures on these. So I don't know. It was just like a lapse in judgment, I think, at that point.
He also said he's like, oh, maybe we made a mistake.
He did say. But that's
So-
why I don't understand. Like, we never heard from Lando. So
Yeah, that was
I feel
never
like
something
that wasn't
was
his price to
presented
pay.
us. Yeah, exactly. That's what I want to know. Like, what happened on the other side of the garage that Lando also went with the same strategy and they pulled him? I don't know. Like, there has to be some sort of conversation that they had to
And
have.
I feel like it was also very misleading because it did pay out for them in the first couple of laps. Like, you
Yeah.
can see Lando just goes. And he also knew that Kimi was going to protect against George
Yeah.
first. So it panned out for Lando like he was race leader for a while. But, I mean, not the long run.
No, because, and I think even if he was on slicks, because of the, 3 formation laps that they had to do, I think it would have been fine. And even knowing that, he could have stayed out front a little bit longer.
Yes.
I'm not saying he could have won. I'm not saying he could, because
At the end of the day, it was the
Mercedes
gearbox
yeah,
fault.
that
so.
too. But even if he didn't have the gearbox issue, Mercedes had more pace than they did.
100%. So this is definitely a weekend to forget for McLaren. I
Yeah.
think they grabbed some really good points yesterday sprint race, but after
Mhm.
that it was just they had pace. So
You know
I
what?
feel like
This
their
is-
issues are definitely not pace.
No. I think, unfortunately, this is karma for us laughing at Mercedes. We get to laugh once,
Once
and it comes
in like
to
2
bite
years.
us in the butt.
Um.
I can't.
So going back to why we got so many formation laps, we go back to our boy Arvid. I'm so sad because there was pace in that
He
racing
had so
bull.
much- right, like you see,
Liam ended up in the top 10.
Liam's race was so good too, which something we
Well,
don't really say.
I mean,
but
not-
his pace was good. He got into the top 10. He stayed in the top 10. The V carb had pace. The V carb had potential for both cars to have
100%.
points. Obviously, Arvid has just a little bit biased.
A lot
Arvid would have-
biased. This
would
is
have
this is an Arvid household. Never forget that.
he would have scored better, if not better. At least he would have had enough points. He would have been in the points with Liam. But
Arvid was out.
he was out. That's why we needed 3 formation laps.
So was Albon.
Oh, yeah, because his mistake and Oscar ended up hitting him, which
I don't know why they're saying. Okay, so we didn't really go back to rewatch it, but from our point of view,
it was Alex's fault.
It was Alex's fault.
Yeah.
Like it was Alex that kind of cut. He wasn't on the
He
racing
was trying
line.
to defend.
And I get that he didn't see Oscar, but that wasn't on Piastri. I don't
No,
think it
it
was on
wasn't.
Piastri.
And so lucky that Oscar didn't get any damage to his car. Like, that would have been so bad. The way that his tire just...
Yeah.
And it went right back.
Yeah.
A miracle itself.
Yeah.
Because we would have had two McLarens out and 0 points for McLarens.
Literally.
It would have been so bad. Like, the worst. And I know last year was super bad for McLaren. We won't talk about it. It's fine. But, yeah, that was Alex's fault for sure. And
I think
super
so.
happy that nothing happened to Oscar's car and he was able to finish
to
the race.
continue the race.
Yeah,
Yeah. Alonso was also out.
he did get out.
But the good news on Aston Martin is that they finally finished the race.
Actually, Lance, for the first time in quite a couple years, has finished a home race.
Good for him.
I
Good
know.
for him.
Was he in last place? Yeah.
I think he was second to last.
I think he was. I think Valtteri was last.
I think so.
He was second to last.
Good for
but
him.
You know what? He finished it, okay? And that's all you could ask of them.
Exactly.
And
you tell him. Lando also DNF'd.
That's not what I'm sad about. Which I am still sad about. Checo.
Yep.
I'm so sad.
That was a bad day for you, huh?
The worst day. Are you kidding? But my championship contender did win 4 consecutive in a row.
Honestly, after this point gap, I don't know. We said the same thing up until Sanford. We thought Oscar had it in the bag, and then Lando came up, and then Max came out of nowhere. So, I mean, it's way too early to say anything. But I'm rooting for Lewis Hamilton, y'all. I think it can happen. I think, call me delusional, but I think this could be our year where we finally claim back that 8th-time world champion title. I don't care. I'm standing by my man.
Said like a true Ferrari fan. Every single year is Ferrari's year, and every single year
Ferrari's out of the quote right now. Like, I don't really care about them. I don't really like Ferrari. Could just, after what they did to Carlos, y'all know where I stand with Ferrari. So I don't really care if it's a Ferrari win, as long as it's a Lewis Hamilton win. This is Team Lewis Hamilton right here. I don't really care who he's what kind of livery he's on.
Oh, that's so funny. But listen. With every single race, and I know it's too early in the season because we've had this is the 5th race we're on. Mm-hmm. Listen, my script is still getting written. Like, my script is actually getting played out. Where
okay, Natasha Bedingfield.
Listen, yeah, Listen, I wrote the script.
She said the rest is still unwritten.
No, it's written in my journal. And it's come into real life because Kimmy keeps winning. I know the season can change, everything can happen, whatever, but George keeps messing up. And I still would not mind that he wins the last race of the season, but Kimmy wins the championship. That's just me. If someone else wins it, as long as someone else wins the championship and George wins the race, my script
still sticks through.
Yep.
And true. I think Kimmy has the highest odds of winning this championship. We love Kimmy. This is a Kimmy Antonelli household, yes. But he was acting a fool today. He really was. Crazy. I mean, I saying this as somebody who stands by him and is a big fan. And we all know it took me a while to get here. I would not have said this last year because of my Carlos beef. That's okay. I didn't think he was pushing the wrong buttons yesterday, but today was a different story. Like, some of those were really close calls.
On one, yeah. I'm saying this as a Max Verstappen fan. That man, he pushes some boundaries, he pushes some buttons, whatever. But Kimmy?
Yeah.
Listen, he's having private lessons with Max, and you could tell. Like, as long as he's safe with it, I don't mind.
Well, but one of those was so close.
Pushing the limits so far. And like we said, if we had another, 10 laps, 15 laps, I still think he would have crashed into George.
We heard from Toto after the race, and he said, I think that was just about enough. That's as much as I can tolerate.
Yeah.
So, and like you said, it's because George retired. I don't know that if it would have been the same story if he kept going.
No. Toto would have been pissed.
Yep. I think he was. He just, there was no issue on saying it now.
Yeah. He 100% was upset for the whole weekend. They had a great weekend in terms of, the overall story, but internally...
Actually, no, not for constructors, because at the end of the day, it's a DNF.
You're right.
So, points are points,
Yeah.
Which since it's briefly back into the Ferrari garage, because myself and I, what's Charles Leclerc on? Yeah. What do you... Joe to say, quit the complaining, brother. You got a 4th place. Lewis got a 2nd, yes. great points for Ferrari. I thought their whole motto was like, Ferrari first. You got some good points for Ferrari. What do you mean this has been the most difficult weekend of your career? Like,
Okay,
cry me a river.
but in turn, how he feels in the car, yeah, okay, on paper he got P4. How he feels in the car might be where the struggle is at. Because he had some,
I just don't.
he had some issues. Isaac was coming after him. The fact that Isaac
Well,
was
that's
right
racing.
I know, but it's Isaac. Like, he's still, I would still, it might not be his rookie year anymore, but he's still
He is
really
an
young.
innate talent. I'll continue to say that.
Yeah, 100%. It's just the experience I think that he's having with the car. It's the same. I mentioned Verstappen in 2023 that he would win every single race, but yet throughout the entire race, this man was like, "This car is so," and then all you would hear from it, beep, beep, bleep, bleep, and then at the end of the race, "Great race, you guys! I'm so glad we did this. Let's do this again next week."
For me, this is obviously me, my personal take on it. It's
Yeah.
just, there are so many drivers who are genuinely having such a rough time. And for him, it sounds a little tone deaf to me. That he's
Yeah, I
saying, I'm
guess.
having the worst weekend of my career. This is just so difficult. Because why? Like, because you're not extracting the most out of the car? I get it. Like, it has to be frustrating. Like, right? I'll
Yeah.
never know what they feel. But like, for you to be saying, oh, it's, like, clearly it's a me problem because Lewis is extracting. How many times has it been reversed? How many times did it happen to Carlos? How many times did it happen? Like, it's,
But Lewis
you're also
said
getting
that
paid
last
millions
year.
and millions and millions of year. Like, why are you telling me, like, oh,
Yeah.
this is just so difficult? You still got P4, brother. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you could have just taken the merit. Like, you didn't have to come out and, like, I just don't think that was the right choice of words and the delivering. Obviously,
Yeah.
he's entitled to feel the way he feels. I just think it's very out of touch.
I mean, yeah, putting in that perspective, but if you're driving in that car, especially the amount of years that he's been with Ferrari, I think he's just gotten very used to just being like, this is
Albon could have said that,
yes.
and I would have believed it.
Well, Albon could have said a lot of things, but he didn't. So
And speaking of Williams, on to brighter news. Carlos in the points.
yay!
I am so happy he got in the points. He started 15, first and foremost.
He did.
When he got out, he did so good for sprint quali. And unfortunately, because on sprint you only get the first points for the first 8 positions, he didn't manage to get points, but he qualified so good. It's the first time they put a Williams in Q3, and the longest time he managed to do that. He felt in tune with the car, so he said, we're gonna do great in sprint. They did all right. But then quali yesterday for the Grand Prix just didn't go his way. So they started from P15 today. Obviously maximized all of the DNFs and eventually ended up getting to P10, and I think got to P11 and fought for P10, but then after Lando DNF'd, he ended up making it to P9. So great result for them. But if they would have started on slicks, would have been a different story. Because
think so too.
he is also one of the ones that started at inters and had to pit within the first few laps because that was a wrong call. So it kind of sucks because I feel like they could have gotten better. I don't know how much better, but I feel like he could have probably squeezed a P8, maybe a P7. Because if we jump briefly onto another garage, Franco said it himself. Like, a great result for Alpine. Both cars in the points. Pierre Gasly fan over here, pretty happy about that.
I wouldn't call myself a Pierre Gasly fan. Please do not put that on me. But very happy for him.
And Franco did come in an interview right after the race.
His best position or ending position yet. Because he's going position by position. Listen, last race was P7. Now he's P6. He almost made it to P5. We were waiting. Not that we were waiting for Isaac to make a mistake. But,
for 2 seconds,
please.
when he was serving that
penalty,
like the stop,
the 10-second penalty.
We were like, oh, is he out?
I know, this is how confused we were, because everyone that was coming into the pits, they were retiring. So, when Isaac came in, we completely forgot that he had a stop and go penalty, and we were like, is he retiring? What's
Is this
what?
P5 for Franco?
We're like, what? Literally, we were like, wait, We're like, no, he's retired. Wait, P5 for Franco. Wait, no, he's out. Wait, no, he's good. And
Oh, he's serving a penalty.
and we're like, oh, he was serving his penalty. All right, it was a roller coaster of emotions over here.
But to go back to Franco's point, which like does tie into to Williams's points, he did say, even though Alpine is doing so much better this season, this is not where we want to be.
Right.
Because he said, we are getting P6 not on merit. We're getting P6 because George DNF. We're getting P6 because Lando DNF. We're getting P6 because McLaren called the wrong strategy.
The same way I want Checo to get points, Alpine is doing it.
So I feel like it's very level-headed of him
Yeah.
to see it that way. Because he's like, in reality, we're looking at a P9, P10, which is not where we want to be.
Right.
So Williams, I feel like it's the same kind of deal. Like they wouldn't have been in the points if it wasn't for all the mistakes
DNFs,
that a couple teams did. Obviously, we'll take what we can get. That being said, Haas.
Yes, Ollie. We had a little bit of a really weird ending, because I guess when Carlos went off for a little bit, they thought that Ollie was going to come out in front of him, but it stayed Ollie P10. So second midfield team that is sticking to the points. I know obviously Ollie, his highest position that he's ever ended on is P4. Obviously he wants to get back to that, but any points is a point, because
Yes, 100%.
unfortunately on the other side of the garage, Ocon is not doing it.
And I know that they debunked this. AO and SD went out on record to say that there was no truth to those rumors. But tell me why Jackie Doohan was getting so much screen time, specifically Media Day.
Media Day, there's so many pictures of Jack and Checo. I live.
Oh, because he gave him a ride.
Live. Yeah.
It was so cute.
I live. Those are saved onto an album.
But yeah, I just thought it was a little bit sketch that they decided of all times to bring your reserve driver and have him just show so much face. This happened to be the weekend when all these rumors are swirling around. I know better than to believe what team principals tell me. So
true, but also like we said in our mini episode, their socials are going hard for Esteban. Like they are making sure that everyone knows that he is their driver and he's not going anywhere since the rumors started, even a little bit before the rumors started, but since the rumors started, they have been posting video of Esteban.
Yeah.
Yes, it's been debunked, but why are you still trying to put on a show?
And another rumor that I just want to touch very, very fast on, because it caught a lot of eyes. You know how we don't really know where Jonathan Whitley is going? There was a sign in the parking of the paddock that said Jonathan Whitley, and the logo on top of it was Aston Martin's. So we do know that Newey doesn't want to be team principal. He already said, "You get me out of here, or I'm out of here." He blocked Christian Horner from coming into the team. Yep. So they are needing for that figure. So a sign to say you can park right here, Jonathan Whitley, Aston Martin team. That's something.
That's crazy. I did not see that. But
she said, "This is news to me."
This is news to me. Hello, breaking news. But because we did mention a couple episodes ago, or I think one of us mentioned a couple episodes ago, that Adrian Newey never wanted to be team principal. That man is an engineer. He is a car person. He is not a people person. He does not want to deal with the dynamics of drivers,
being a team principal.
And everything that comes. He needs to focus on what he needs to focus on, and I think that's why Aston Martin is having so many issues still, because
he can't do everything.
They're having him do everything except focus on the car, and all he needs to do is focus on the car. I don't know. I think it would be, whether it's Jonathan or somebody else. Hopefully it is Jonathan, because someone's the biggest fan in the world over here. But they just 100% have been needing a team principal just in general. That's not Adrian.
And with that being said, I feel like I said it last episode and I stand by it. We have seen a change in Audi, because Nico and Gabby, like, that's been one of was it 12 and 13? Like, I feel like that's their standard
Right now,
nowadays, where,
yeah.
like, at the beginning of the season, in last season, they
Mm-hmm.
kept getting here and now in the points.
Yeah.
And I don't want to say it's on Mattia, but it is on Mattia.
Huddy's a whole other thing. This weekend they had some rough goings. Um, I believe they just got lapped. I mean, a lot of people got lapped, but it was
Piastri
just
got
rough
lapped.
going for this race. I don't know. There's something else going on over there. They got to figure it out too.
Yeah. Well, that is our Formula One in a nutshell part of the episode. We
Yeah.
will move on to
F1 Academy.
yes.
Which oh
I love F1 Academy weekends. It's just, first of all, top tier content. Top tier
so
content.
good.
The girls are all over the paddock, and it's just, I love seeing them. I
Also,
love seeing
their
them just
Montreal
everywhere.
paddock, right on the water.
Beautiful.
It's so gorgeous. Yeah, we had 3 races this weekend, of course, because of the Saudi Arabia GP getting canceled. They had to do 3 races.
Reformat it.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't seen the TikTok, she made a TikTok about how they reformatted the remaining of the season for F1 Academy.
Yes. Alicia Pomosky.
That's
Oh
our Red Bull
My
queen.
God. She makes me so happy to be a Red Bull fan. I mean,
For
Max
real.
and Isaac are getting there this season, but oh my God, she's doing so good. She broke a record the first race that we had in Montreal. First podium was Alicia, Megan, and Matilda Pats, who got her first podium ever in Formula One Academy.
At least one Aston Martin is doing good.
Clock it.
At least one
Clock
Aston
it.
Martin is in a podium.
Clock it.
We love you, Nano, but listen. Matilda
Listen.
was the star of the weekend.
She got a podium. What did Lance do? Finish. Please. Do better.
Aww, so happy for Matilda.
Right.
Oh, and
And
wait,
then-
there's more.
There is more. Hold on. We will get to Matilda again. But Alicia broke a record, or set a record
Yeah.
first, of the highest winning margin. And I will have to look at what it is right now, because she then went on to break her own record.
Yeah, on the second race.
Like, are you on the third race? Yeah. So, record was 10.119 seconds. Are we kidding? That was insane.
Honestly, like we've mentioned before, like for their cars, which are technically Formula 4
Formula 4
cars, that is a huge margin. And I don't think F1 Academy has ever raced in Canada, but you guys know it's a tricky circuit regardless. And for Formula 4 cars, it is no small task.
No, it's not. It was insane to watch. The race was so good. We had a lot of yellow flags. All 3 races had a lot of yellow flags, and
Here,
it's so
Canada.
good to, like, please go watch Formula One Academy races because they are so good. Like, luckily this F1 race was really entertaining, but if it wasn't, I promise you, every single F1 Academy race is
Yes.
entertaining. Like,
Yes.
it's so good. Anyways, moving on to race number 2.
Reverse grid race.
Reverse grid race. Our girl Matilda Pats
Did
went
it-
from getting her first podium in the first race to winning her first race in Formula One Academy a couple hours after.
Here.
That's so crazy.
Merit where merit is due. However, it was a maiden win.
Yes.
So unfortunately, there is a not so great part of this story for our Ferrari girl, Alba Larson.
Alba, she also got her first podium ever in Formula One Academy. This is her second year in Formula One Academy.
And last.
Why did FIA come 4 hours later
That's
to
what
take
bothers
it away
me.
from her?
That honestly is what bothered me the most.
Yeah.
Like taking a page from MotoGP over here.
Literally.
4 hours after the race was done. Come on.
Yeah,
Be
it's
better.
so crazy because she was so happy. Everyone was so happy. We were so happy for her.
And
And
they took that away from her.
unfortunately, she ended up, I think it was P11 at the end of the day. So, Kaylee Countryman ended up being P2, which we are so happy about. She's a fellow American. We love to see her. She's so great. She's a Haas driver. And then that
Peyton.
meant that Peyton Westcott, who's a Mercedes driver, got P3 for that race. But oh my gosh, that was so bad for Alba, and we're so sorry that
I
happened to you.
know.
Yeah. Last race we
This morning.
had, yes, this morning, the reason why I was up at 7 in the morning.
Listen, we'll do it all over again.
Yeah, I would.
Yes, for our girls.
100%.
Also, it's like,
Anything.
I feel like we keep saying the same thing, but it's such good
Also,
entertainer.
That's what I'm saying. And also, I'm so glad I woke up this morning because Alicia went on to break her
Own
own
record.
Are you kidding? She also, both races that she got was pole, she turned them into wins and then broke records. Are you kidding me? Her second record, let me get that for you so that you know, I believe it was 10.955 seconds.
Almost a second.
Are
Almost a whole second
you
more.
kidding me?
Yeah.
Alicia, please, we need
Be
to see
so
you
for real.
racing in other series because
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I cannot deal with just waiting for you to race in Formula One Academy. Oh my gosh. I hope she goes on to do bigger and better things.
I think so.
Red Bull, please invest time and effort into her because she is doing so well.
Parenthetical. Who did we see right next to Toto Wolff all morning?
Miss Dorian.
Our reigning champion Dorian. She's been so consistent in showing up to the garage, like
Yeah.
studying strategy. She's there. Frederick's also there. But honestly, I feel like we're seeing Dorian more and more.
We are. I don't know. They keep Frederick hidden. I don't know what's going on over there in the house of Mercedes, but
in the house of Mercedes.
in the Mercedes family.
I'm dead. And then the podium for this morning.
Yes,
It was
obviously Alicia in first, turned that pole into a win. Then we had Emma Felbermeyer, and then we had Megan again. I love that for
Emma
her.
with Audi.
Yes.
So again, at least an Audi on podiums.
Listen, the fact that the girls are getting midfield teams onto podiums, men,
It means something.
reevaluate. Reevaluate, please.
Teams reevaluate.
You can learn from the girls, please.
Honestly, like, I'm kind of like mad at not at myself or ourselves, but this whole 3 races in one weekend, on top of it being like an F1 sprint weekend, like anybody that actually went to Canada,
Also, I'm
money's
so jealous
worth. Money's worth.
like we mentioned, F2 was also there, which
Yes.
honorable mention.
Yes, I was gonna say we don't talk about F2, but we will talk about F2 in this
we
one.
have to because nuestro himno nacional, Mexico's national anthem,
Played in Canada this weekend. Yes, it did.
oh, and I love that.
Thanks
for
to
us. Noel Leon. Oh my gosh, that was so beautiful to watch. Like,
Yeah.
I'm so glad that was one of the races that I actually watched instead of I normally just watch the highlights and just like, oh, okay, that was
Yeah.
fun. But oh my god, I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
I didn't watch the race, to be honest with you, but I heard he did really, really
He
good.
did so good. And when obviously, when your own national anthem plays,
Oh, yeah.
oh my god, I started crying. Not me, like almost crying thinking about it. But that was so
I
beautiful. Like, can you believe? Also, the first Mexican driver to win an
F2 race.
Mind you, yes, it was their sprint race, but I don't
It
care.
doesn't matter. The
I
technicalities.
don't care. Our anthem rang through all of Canada. Thank you.
I mean, now that Checo is in that midfield team, like, we really need to count our blessings.
Yeah. Oh my god, that was so good. And Checo obviously posted about it and he was so happy for him.
We stick together, y'all.
We do. Anyways,
We're gonna move on. Like we said, it's a packed weekend. So we're moving on to Indy 500. Brr, 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 brr.
which we had another heartbreak for the Indy 500.
We had a couple of heartbreaks.
We did. I will say, so we started off with Alexander Rossi and Alex Palou, yo-yoing the first couple laps, which, fun. We love to see it. Woohoo, exciting. We get to lap 18, which, mind you, was in memory of Kyle Busch.
Yes.
If you don't know, he's a NASCAR driver who tragically passed away this past week. He was 41, had just
he was
won
really young.
5 days before he passed away. He won in the Truck Series. And they have
Our
the
thoughts
last,
are with all of the NASCAR community and his family.
yeah,
I
they did
just
have a
really
tribute to
wanted to
him.
say, yeah.
Yeah, they did have a tribute to him for lap 18 in memory of him, and then also for the Coca-Cola 600. Obviously, we're not watching because we're filming this, but they also had a tribute at the beginning of the race for him with his son and his wife.
Yeah.
So, our
That's
hearts
a
go out to them. But
big
I,
loss for the community
they're
this
so
week.
strong for actually going out there
Yeah.
this soon after, and we're so glad it happened. Unfortunately, during that same lap, our girl Catherine Legg
Got taken out.
got taken out, and I will not stand for any slander. She, okay. Ryan, oh my gosh, okay. Ryan Hunter-Reay spun out. He had already had some issues. He said in post interviews that he had issues with his tires and the back tires.
He knew it was coming.
Yeah, he knew it was coming, and instead of getting out, and I understand there's some like technicalities on why he couldn't go out and everything like that. Like, I understand that. But he could have safely gotten out and like made it, or like alerted someone, say, hey, something's gonna happen soon, or something. He knew. He
Yeah. At that point, it was his own irresponsibility.
Yeah, he knew. And he spun out, he locked up, spun out. Catherine, in avoiding him, went around. She spun out, hit the wall. Her race is over. And this is going to be a quick little, to all the misogynists out there.
Yep. Because we're seeing it a lot. And it's only been a couple of hours since it happened.
Yes, but also ever since she announced that she was going to attempt the Indy 500, ever since she announced that she was going to attempt the
NASCAR
1,100 mile
challenge.
Challenge. There's been so many men. And I think this has to do with, in Formula One, we don't see it as much anymore. We still do see it, but I think you see it a lot more in the American races.
Yeah, Indy and NASCAR, 100%.
Especially NASCAR. But why is it that just because she's a woman, you guys think that it is okay to throw, and it's always like, there were some comments that I saw that it was just like, oh, of course she did. Or even before it happened, even before the race started, even yesterday, there's a lot of people, don't worry, she'll be out in a couple laps. And unfortunately, when she was, which was not even her fault, everyone's like, yeah, of course, she's a woman. What does that have to do with anything? It was Ryan's fault. He's the reason why she got out. Why isn't it, oh, look, Ryan went out. Of course he did. Hello?
Yeah.
Why is it because she's a woman, of course she got out?
Yeah,
Hello?
I feel like we are not used to, like, it does happen every now and then. I feel like in the series that we do watch actively.
Mm-hmm.
But it's always just that comment of, well, duh, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's because she's a woman. And you know what? Like, this just comes from people and their own insecurities and the fact that it's motorsport.
Yeah.
I think the girls doing, amazing job on other series are just like, it speaks for themselves. And this is honestly a conversation that it just gets tiring of like having the same conversation
100%.
over and over again. So at this point is, we're proud of Catherine. She tried.
She attempted, and unfortunately it didn't work out for her. It wasn't her fault. It wasn't her fault. The commentator said it wasn't her fault.
So that too, like, check your facts.
Yeah, IndyCar 100% said it wasn't her fault. It literally is written out, spelled out. The information that they gave out to everybody was, she moved to avoid a collision.
Yep.
That is it. Unfortunately, in doing that, she spun out. But if she would not have done that, neither one of them probably would have been here, because she was coming at him fast. He was spinning out. She was coming at him fast. She moved to avoid a collision.
It reminds me of, it was Piastri or The Wall.
Yeah.
By Ricardo.
Oh, which Danny Rick was there too. Oh. Anyway.
It was honestly, I feel like, yeah, we are all a bit in our feels this week this weekend, because there was just so many things to salvage from all of the series that went on. And I feel like that's just one of the cute little tokens of the weekend. Like, we got to see Daniel Ricciardo. He made an appearance for Indy. And that was just really cute. I think that was just so wholesome.
He was there to support Connor Daly, which he also had not a very good race, but he thought Danny could be a good luck charm, and he kind of was, but not really.
So we're gonna jump into the actual results, some of the mishaps in the results of Indy.
Yeah, there was so much that happened. Just we had a lot of red flags, we had a lot of yellow flags because of the weather and everything like that. I thought it was so funny because when we had a red flag because of weather, Scott Dixon was in first place, and we've seen it before where if they call the race for the weather, if you're like whatever you're in, you won.
Yeah.
And they pan to interview his wife, and she's like, I think there's some lightning out there. They should call it. It's really seeming like this is it. We're good. Call the race. This is it. And she's so funny.
Honestly, from the content I've seen, I was gonna say I feel like they're both a riot. Like they probably bounce off each other because he's hilarious too. He's so silly. Like I don't know if you've seen some of his content on his social media, but he is so silly. He's hilarious.
But I thought it was so funny. Like they just went to her and she's like, no, I heard there was some lightning over there. There's some rain coming. Oh yeah, no, we need to call it for safety reasons. And she's so funny. Obviously they didn't call it. We had other yellow flags. We had other red flags. But we had another red flag. I think it was lap 115. I had a little break because that's all I could take, but we had...
It's a long one.
It's a lot, yeah. It was a lot to unpack. And then we also had Grosjean getting a penalty for going under the yellow. Grosjean, what are we doing? But you know better.
I'm just happy we see him. Listen, after all the trauma that we went through in Formula One, I'm just like, every time he comes in on my Indy TV, every now and then when I watch it, I'm just like, I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah, he's a character. But we also had Alexander Rossi, who, if you didn't know, he was injured before he had on the second to last practice. Before.
He had a week because when it wasn't him, it was his car, and then his car was fine, and then it was him.
It was so funny because he said right before the race started that he had never been so well rested before a 500.
My heart.
Just for his car to catch on fire and he had to DNF. Like
this is not funny. It's just
he cannot catch a break.
No, for real.
That's so crazy. Last red flag. Once we come out of that, we have Armstrong in P1. David was, I believe, P2, and then at some point there was some ruffling and David just went for it. He had such a good race. He's been having such a good season. I've said it before. It was his race to lose, and unfortunately...
We've seen this story before.
We have, and he did lose. Not to Armstrong. It's not funny.
It's not. We're just being so poetic about it.
Because... it's so sad. Like, listen, the 500 brings the most emotions out of me, 100%. And also because I've lived this before.
Heartbreak. We've lived this heartbreak before, yes.
And that truly was near and dear to my heart. Obviously, also, David is an ex-Aero McLaren. Obviously, I'm still rooting for him now that he's not in McLaren.
Yes, of
and
course.
And it's just, it's so hard because he was there. He was there. And let me give you the stat of how far away he was. 0.023 seconds. He missed it. So Felix Rosenquist comes out of nowhere after David goes in front of Armstrong. Rosenquist goes in front of Armstrong as well. And then last second, Felix takes it. Are we kidding? 0.023
It was down to the wire. Down to the wire.
The heartbreak and watching David cry in his car before even getting out, like you can just see him. And then when the cameras are in his face after and he's just red, eyes cry, like, and that is where I say I've seen this story before and the heartbreak. Oh my God. What a 500.
Yeah, honestly, it's just one of those, like, yes, it provides great entertainment, but at the end of the day, when you are, like, so invested into this driver's stories and the preparation and all the sacrifices that it takes to get to this point and to get to, like, even the top 5 in the Indy 500, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of sacrifices. So much goes into it to just lose it it's just to lose it in the end by that little. It hurts.
It hurts a lot. And that's not saying we're not
happy for them.
Felix. Yeah, we're not saying we're not happy for Felix and our IndyCar dad, who we follow on TikTok. He amazing content. If you love IndyCar
Go
dad,
follow him.
that's his favorite driver. We are so happy for IndyCar dad.
Shout out.
So shout out to you. We're so happy for you. And he made his own overalls he like DIY'd his own overalls and his own hat, his own shoes for. I'm so happy for you. You deserve this win.
What a good weekend, yeah.
What a great weekend. But yeah, what a heartbreak. The Indy 500 always brings us heartbreak.
I did a prediction and I got it. Oh, so wrong.
Yeah,
so wrong. Our beloved Pato finished.
He ended up in P4.
Which is not bad, right?
not.
Charles Leclerc? It's not bad. But it's still not.
I mean, you also have to think about he did 500 miles.
Yes.
Compared to whatever Charles did. And then, the old 500 champion Alex Palou, P7. So
it's okay. Listen, we love a
I'm
good
not mad at that.
Paloucella, but like I feel like this wasn't, like you said, so poetically, this was not his race to win.
Yep.
And that's okay. And not
Right.
all of them are Alex Palou races, all right?
Nope.
And that's okay.
And that's perfectly okay in my book.
We're going to touch really, really quickly on MotoGP because we didn't have a MotoGP race this weekend, but we did have one last weekend. And if you haven't caught our mini TikTok episode about it, just to be very clear on where we stand on restarts or unsafe restarts for that matter.
Yeah.
MotoGP, get it together. The one new development that we have had since last weekend at the Catalunya GP for MotoGP was that Marc Marquez did ask for a changes in his contract. He said that he's asking Ducati to allow him to retire at any given point after 2027. Or in 2027, I think. So basically, if he starts next season with Ducati, they have allowed him to retire literally at the drop of a hat. Which, that should tell you enough of where we're at.
Yeah.
I will insert here, if you are watching this on TikTok, I will insert here. There is a image that tells you all the surgeries, all the parts of his body that he has got broken, fixed, or restructured, or reconstructed. That man is a walking miracle.
Yeah.
So
100%.
many parts of his body are just not what they were originally 29 years ago. And it's insane. So I don't blame him for trying to retire already. Like we said.
Granted, some of those were his fault.
Granted, quite a lot of those were his fault still.
Probably 80% of them were his fault. But still, 100% for safety reasons and his own health-wise, especially these past couple injuries that he's had, that's insane.
And honestly, I think more so the biggest wake-up call for him, you know, when they say, I don't know, I don't have kids, right? But I can relate to it in the sense of whatever is going to happen, it can happen to me. But when you see it happen to a loved one, that's when you're like, oh. Like,
you reevaluate your entire life.
So Alex Marquez's accident last week, we touched on this on the mini episode, but we'll say it again. MotoGP went on record to say with Alex's crash with Gian Antonio and I can't remember who was the third one, but it was a big crash. GP went on record to say all of the pilots, all of the riders are conscious. And I genuinely don't believe that was true because when the paramedics got there and Alex got removed from the track, that man was not conscious.
No, he was not.
He was not conscious. He ended up breaking a vertebrae, his collarbone. It's a lot and it was bad. Right? Yeah. Joanne, also Sarko, ended up going to the hospital. They are both making a good full recovery. But listen, that could have gone worse. So wrong. So wrong. And the fact that they had to restart that race 3 times, that at that point it got to survival mode versus, here we are racing for a position.
Yeah.
I said it last time and I'll say it again. Jorge Martin's
outbreak.
Yeah, like kind of crash out when he came back into the garage. I understand why, and they really did put the riders in a very difficult position. However, I can't stand by that kind of behavior in the garage. But I mean, they all really should not have been putting in that position where it's just like you've
Yeah.
seen two of your fellow riders go to the hospital literally already not conscious, not knowing if they're gonna make it out, and you're making me restart this race again
Yeah.
for a third
It was
time. No.
definitely yeah, it was definitely justified. Was it right? No. But it was definitely, at least in my books, it was justified that he got that angry because you're witnessing what's going on out there. Obviously, now you're thinking about yourself and seeing what's going on. And if he's not thinking about himself, he's thinking about every other writer that's on there and being like, this is not safe for any of us. What's going on? And obviously, he's, like I said,
Yeah,
justified
100%.
that he's angry about it. On the other hand, yeah, he should not be shoving and pushing everybody else, but emotions get the best of you,
Yeah.
especially when your adrenaline is that
So
high.
high.
Yeah. So I think justified, obviously not right, but yeah, it's a tricky situation, especially with all the adrenaline getting up there. But man, I'm so glad everybody's okay. There was a lot of injuries within the motorsport community this past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
And
it's been
wow,
it was a heavy one.
yeah, it was a lot. We were overwhelmed, but we would do it again.
I don't know. Some of those injuries were very scary.
I meant the experience
Oh.
of the experience of
Oh, yeah.
watching all sorts of motorsport and being in everything. But yeah, injuries. Please stop getting injured.
Yes, let's not do that
Please
again.
stop getting injured.
Yeah, looking forward to we have Monaco coming up in 2
too.
weeks. So, like that's one of the staples. Kind of
The
entertainment it provides.
The series is picking up, and by picking up, I mean we're getting more consistent races now that we're past this first half of the season.
Yes.
Then
And we are having 5 races in 6 weeks, something like that. It's
Something
gonna
like
be
that.
great.
And then it's still TBD, but towards the end of the season, they're thinking about having back Bahrain and Saudi Arabia between the three. So we're gonna have, I think, 13 races or 11 races within 13 weeks or 13 races within 11 weeks, something like that. I'm sorry, I'm
Yeah.
dyslexic. But something like that they're still thinking of having it. So instead of finishing
December.
Yeah, instead of finishing
The
or
first week
having
of December.
the last race on the first week of December, I think they're finishing it on December 20th or something
Yeah,
like
really
that.
close to Christmas.
Yeah, very
Yeah,
close.
it's
They're cutting it
still
very
up
close.
in the air,
I
but
hope
it's
they
an
don't.
option.
I hope they don't. The season will pick up. We're fine. We made it through without having those. There's still problems in the Middle East. Like let's let
Yeah.
that go.
Also, I don't know what that would mean for the championship, because if they're still fighting
Yeah.
it, and all of a sudden you throw another chance for another 25 points in there, then
2 chances for
yeah.
25.
I generally don't think they're going to be able to fit 2.
I
I
hope
think
they
1
don't.
maybe.
I hope they don't do any and just leave it as is, because it's already a lot of races that they were away from home, and obviously we think about the engineers and everyone else who puts on, like everyone back at the factory, aka Lewis Hamilton, but everybody, who puts in work to make these races go. It's a lot of work.
100%.
Yeah.
And speaking of Monaco, we're just going to touch very briefly, because we talked about it in the mini episode, but full circle, arc redemption here. Nick DeVries with Mahindra, his first win in Formula E happened in Monaco last weekend. A lot of our boys were there to witness it.
Yes.
And they got to see Gen 4 car. I think
Yeah.
a lot of them were really interested in that. I'm kind of like, I've been trying to read about it, because apparently that's where we're heading towards in
Mhm.
Formula 1 as well. Big shout out to Mahindra and Nick, because I am so
great
glad
job, Nick.
that happened. And like you said, that Christian Horner was there to witness it. So
In your
big
face,
shout out.
Christian.
Very well deserved
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. And obviously he had a very small stint in a Formula 1. He had potential. Obviously Red Bull does what Red Bull does and didn't give him the time to show his potential. I'm so glad he found his place in Formula E and is doing amazing things.
Amazing things. And I think that's what we have for you guys.
This wraps up this episode. This motorsport filled episode.
A lot happened, and we wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah. If you guys want to have any other conversations of any other type of motorsport, we will be in the comments.
And also, huge shout out to ourselves, because this is our 1 year anniversary today. We've been doing this for a year. I don't know how many episodes we got under our belt, to be
I have
honest
no
with you.
idea. I know for this season, excluding our mini episode, I believe it's been
This is
8
7.
episodes.
Yeah.
This will be our 8th
Yes.
episode. Including our mini episode, this is 9th, but 8th episode.
And then
for
our
this
episode in
season.
parts that we attempt on Zoom. I think that's why we can't keep count, because we come up with different formats, because sometimes we can't really like sit down for 2 hours and do an episode, but we still try and be consistent to like coming to you guys. And I feel like we have that commitment to like try and put out our thoughts based on what happened in the motorsport world as soon as we can. Bear with us. We're obviously still working on it and a system that works for us.
We're very old school in that we like being together in the same room. We riff off of each other, and we actually kind of like each other. We're kind of friends. So we like being in the same room.
Time.
And it's so weird to be on Zoom. Like that mini episode we had, like it was good. Obviously I had some connection issues, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. It feels so impersonal and like, I don't know. We also, if you haven't noticed, we're very much like when we start saying stuff, we're very like, oh my God, and like riff off of each other.
Our ADHD just takes over.
Just bounces off each other. So we like in-person episodes, but
we'll see.
We'll
just roll with the punches. Bear with us.
We'll figure it out. And we'll get you more episodes.
And we'll try to get you more episodes. All right, guys, if you have watched this far and if you have been with us for one episode or since May last year, thank you for watching. And this was Closing the Gap.
Thank you. Bye.